Clicking go live, so it should be live on the Facebook page in just a sec.
Oh, sweet.
Click record in here, so I got the backup. And I will start the encoder and get your intro dropped. Oh. Videos. Why?
Everybody, this is Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man. And if you want to get your money's worth, stay right here because you're listening to Knockouts and 3 Counts. And remember, everybody's got a price. $1 Million Man.
Oh, I don't want to share it to my story, you fuck.
This is Don West here, and I'm telling you, Knockouts and 3 Counts is the podcast, baby. Make sure that's the one you check out, because, buddy, like me, they're the real deal, baby.
Oh, they're fooling.
This is Jake the Snake Roberts. Just letting you know, you need to listen to Knockouts and 3 Counts, or you see that damn snake again.
This is the Ring of Honor World Television Champion, a.k.a. Shane T, boy, the baddest champion you've ever seen, boy. And you're listening to Knockouts and 3 Counts.
What up, everybody? This is Kyle, and you are listening to Knockouts and 3 Counts. Dev, before we get to our special guest, why don't you throw out your social media out first?
Man, you can find me on Twitter at Devin63. That's DEVINTHU63. You can find me on Instagram at All Steak No Sizzle. One word. Make sure you check out the Reality Era News group on Facebook, and I think that's it.
Well, since Tony doesn't look to be joining us, without any further ado, we have
Hey, Kyle. Don't you want to throw out your social media and where they can find all of our stuff, man?
I can.
It made me look good.
Hey, man, I was trying to help him out, but I'll get there. I'm gonna give you a little bit of a draw in before we get there. So you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Detroit Knockout, Detroit NOKOUT. Make sure you're following the show at KO3C Pod on Twitter and Instagram. Obviously, if you're watching us live on Facebook, Knockouts and 3 Counts podcast on here. And before we get started, hit that subscribe button and make sure you're checking us out at Knockouts and 3 Counts on YouTube. Now, without any further ado, we've got the debut of Jon'tae Keith. How you doing, brother, man?
I'm okay, man. Thank y'all for having me. Actually, this what's up. I've been trying to get on for a minute, but I ain't know if Tony was gonna allow me to be like, spread the word out and be like, yeah, I'll let you get on my show. So I'm glad to be on.
Hey, man, we're happy to have you, man. Why don't you go ahead and throw your social media out and let everybody know where they can find you?
I mean, mostly. First of all, can we can curse on here? Cause I don't want to.
Man, say whatever the fuck you want.
Okay, there we go. All right, cool. I didn't want to say that up. But as far as my social media, y'all can basically y'all know where I'm at on Facebook all the time. That's where all my dumbass posts is at and whatnot. But Instagram, you can follow me at Busted Flips, Twitter at Tay Keith. But like, if you really want to fuck with me, bro, just be on my Facebook, bro. I'll be wilding out sometimes. So yeah, follow me there. Shit.
It's funny you say that, man, because I've been kind of known as a little bit of a Facebook fiend myself, man. I don't know if you followed Tony's awards that he gives out every year.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken, you won his social media award like last year or the year before.
Did I?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. Tony ain't never give me no award for nothing. I don't know what the fuck.
Oh, my bad. Well,
no,
I'm the 20.
Way to start some shit.
I'm talking shit because I'm trying to see if he's gonna be on this live, and then he'll call in.
Ain't it funny? It's his own show, and he don't even show up. Ain't that about a bitch?
But yeah, I think you were the 2018 winner, and I won it in 2019. I'm not sure.
I don't even remember because every victory, it's even if it's a small victory, I don't even know what it is. Like I would have remembered that if I win something, I know. I don't remember winning that little award in 2018.
Well, maybe you'll win the 2020, man. But as far as your social media goes, man, talk to me about like what motivates you to post the stuff that you do post on there, man.
I mean, I don't really post. All right, look, I used to get reported like a lot, like 2 years, like a good 2-3 years ago. Like Facebook always talking about you're fucking up our standards. You're not like, what's wrong with you? Like, it was just wilding out on me. But I use like now I just post like wrestling shit, you know, maybe a meme or two, something that's funny. Like I just be chilling. Like my social media isn't like, you know, it's not like politically correct, but it's not gonna have you like, I ain't about to fuck with his page, you know, or something like that. You either gonna laugh or you gonna like look at my wrestling shit, be like, yo, this motherfucker, like what he be on, bro? Like it's mad unpredictable, like how my page would be sometimes. You feel me? So
hey, so that might help bring a little bit more light to what you're trying to do here in the wrestling business. Let's get a little bit into that. How the hell did you get into wrestling, first of all? And second of all, how did you get into it, first of all? What turned you on to wrestling in the first of all? And second of all, how long you been wrestling for? So let us know all about it.
Shit. All right. Well, what got me into wrestling? I mean, at first, I didn't even like wrestling at first. Like, I was like, not into it. I was like, what the fuck? Why would I allow somebody? Why would you allow somebody to hit you in the head with a chair on purpose? Like, that shit was dumb. Like, I ain't understand that logic. But Jeff Hardy, when I saw him jump off the cage at like Unforgiven 2000, I was like, yo, like that's the most wildest shit I've ever seen in my life. Like, what the fuck is wrong with this dude? And that ever since then, I just started wrestling. Like, it was that moment.
Do you remember what match it was that you saw him?
Yeah, it was the Hardy Boys versus Edge and Christian 2000, Unforgiven.
Okay. I like it. I've been watching a lot of 2000s Raw and the pay-per-views from around then because I was born in 92. So I was born. Listen, you know, that area is right where I came up.
That's that 90s baby shit. You feel me? Cause like, bro, like we I was born in 93. So I'm all about like nostalgia. Like, bro, nowadays I was just fucking watching like the Ruthless Aggression era for like a week straight. I went on like a binge watching. I was just watching that shit like in tears because I remember when John Cena, I was 11 when John Cena first won his WWE title. You feel me? Like I was a baby, bro. Like that's my childhood. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Hell no.
Right. So how did that turn from you?
Wait, is that Tony Thunder right here?
Hell yeah, it's me. Oh, shit.
And he heard me talking shit. He heard me talking shit. He go, hold the fuck on.
Yeah. Jump right in. No, see, I just woke up, man. That's why I can't even have my video on right now. It's just fucked up. I still got this shit in my eyes.
Finally has made his return to the show and decided he wanted to fuck with us again, man. Throw out your social media and shit.
Yo, I'm Tony Thunder. You can find me on social medias. I'm Tony Thunder.
The fact that he late to his own shit.
Hey, look. Hey, look. First of all, what we not gonna do is
Hey, it's the first time he's been on here since quarantine, bro. So it's all right.
Yeah.
My thing is like, bro, you brought me here.
That's what I'm saying.
Y'all acting like I hopped in the whip, went to the show, and was like, "Oh yeah, let me walk in this motherfucker after I smoke my blunts first. Y'all go ahead and start the show."
Hey, low key, I feel like you just dropped me off. It was like I'll pick you up when we done after school.
Go ahead in there. I'll be there in a minute.
Like, go ahead, I'll pick you up. Like daddy said he went to the store and never came back type shit. Like
I wanted to go get some cigarettes.
So let's get back to what we were bringing up with you though, man. You were telling us how you got into wrestling. How did that parlay from you being a fan to you deciding that you wanted to step through the ropes?
Man, like I said, Jeff Hardy was like my biggest influence. So when I saw that, because he was just like hella fearless, and I was always like kind of like just naturally athletic, and I just like always just was flipping around the house and like just doing stupid stuff that aggravate my. Oh, there go Tony. I see why you can't wake up.
Hey, fuck you. I'm tired.
Nah, but like I said, I was just like really just naturally athletic, and I always had like my energy level was just always high and stuff like that. So I had to do something. Either I was going to play some sports or I was going to do something.
All right, look, I'm about to say some names, right?
Man, I'm telling my story, bro.
Hey, look, I'm gonna say some names, and you go tell the people what those names had to do with you first starting into wrestling. All right.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
So you got Jacob Braun. You got Hoss Fight. You got Cassidy Kane. You got Owen Travers.
Yo.
You got Gemini.
Yo, you just named like half of the XSU roster from like 2010, 2011, bro. Like those is memories. That's memories right there. Like I started with all them motherfuckers, bro. I met you through them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like through the whole XSU shit that was going on. Like that shit crazy. Owen Travers, dog. Shout out to Owen, bro. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Owen Travers. He doing this thing with Future Stars of Wrestling.
Cass, like my partner or whatever. Like he trained me. You feel me? So yeah, that shit crazy.
Hey man, how many years you count in this business, man?
Huh?
How many years you count in this business?
Shit, 10.
10 years.
I've been doing shit since like 2010, bro. Like my body been hurting for this shit. You feel me?
What you think about the people who what you think about the people who don't know how long you've been in this business and what you went through? Because I mean, like as far as breakthrough and being seen out there, like even me too, man. We really just start hitting.
Yeah. I feel like nowadays, yeah, I'm kind of getting like the little recognition that I should. But even then, like I don't really get caught up in that type of shit, honestly, bro. Because like at the end of the day, like I just want to go out there. I'm 11 years old every time I go out there and wrestle, bro. Like, you know me, I don't go out there and try to politic and shit like that. I leave that to other motherfuckers. You feel me? Like I just go out there.
You liar, you don't love Jesus. No.
How am I? But look, if I do politics, I'm gonna make sure like everybody get involved, like not just me, dog.
He said, "It wasn't me who was politicking. I was just."
I'm gonna look. I want to politic for everybody, not just me. Like that's not. You can't just put yourself on. You gotta put other folks around you on too. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how you gotta do it. You can't just go out there and be like, shit, I'm about to go ahead and fuck with this promoter right here for me only when the rest of your team is not, you know, getting booked and shit like that. Like that's nasty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So Tony talked a little bit about how long you've been in the business and things like that. He was kind of giving me a little bit of a background into some of the things that you've gotten to do in this business. One of which that he was talking about that really popped out to me because I've been watching a lot of their stuff lately is he was telling me about your feud with Jordan Oliver, who now has been blowing up with Injustice over there in MLW and all that kind of stuff as well. So tell me a little bit about your feud with Jordan Oliver and what your thoughts are on that.
Me and Jordan was wrestling for this little company out in Ohio, and it was like real good. Like I didn't even like look at it as a feud at first. Like, you know, that's what everybody else kind of like threw out there. I was just like, we going in there to go out there and wrestle and make something happen. But we ended up having like some really good chemistry. Like he threw a video out there about me, and like folks was reacting to it and stuff like that. And then I threw my little video out there, and folks was reacting to it even more. So, you know, it was good like wrestling them too, because he mad talented, bro. Like he's straight out of Jersey, straight out of like CZW. You know what I mean? Like he doing his thing with my boy Myron. Like I got a lot of love for Jordan. He wanted to like, he's like one of the what's the words? Like, you know how like it's a split between the new generation and the old generation? He's like the definition of what's going on in the new era, like right now, like being like mad defiant, just like doing our own thing, but it's working. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Jordan.
So I got something that goes with that, and I'd love to hear your opinions on it because you've actually worked with him. So I'm not even going to hold you up. First couple times I saw Jordan Oliver, I was like, man, I don't know if I like this kid, man. Like when I was watching MLW, he just was getting on my nerves. But as a heel, that's what he's supposed to do. So
look, no disrespect to dude, but his gimmick comes across like he's trying too hard.
Well, that literally, bro, that's kind of what I thought, because you've got Myron Reed, you've got Coda Brazil in there with him, who are both doing their thing, and then it kind of at first I was like, man, this guy's kind of off, and then I saw him get in the ring, and I'm like, damn.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, I'm not taking.
But it beat those type of people.
Work is amazing. I'm just like character only. It just looked like he tries a little too hard. It's like you know how you got that white dude like Eminem that's like, yo, that's my nigga. And then you got that white dude where it's like, yo,
he don't want to say nigga, right? He don't really want to say it, but because you know he ain't
like you let him say it because he grew up around black people, but he tried too hard to be black. type thing.
See, but the thing is, I feel like they almost want him to do that low key because it plays right into what they're doing. Because he's like that annoying mouth that just talks shit. It keeps talking.
It works for him.
It works. It
for him.
does what it's supposed to.
Yeah, and he knows his gimmick, so he's working the shit out of it. So you know.
And then he's like mad young too. He's
Yeah,
like
he's
mad
only like,
young.
what,
So he
21?
got he got so much experience to like just to gain over the years. Like he'll be good.
Yeah, for sure.
So that was the first one that Tony mentioned that really kind of like popped out to me. But another thing he mentioned, and since we were talking about 2000s wrestling, Tony tells me that you got to take part in the Too Cool dance with Rikishi.
Yeah.
Please tell me that you at least knew the dance, because I just saw the Big Show do the shit and it looked bad.
Yeah, hell yeah, I knew that. Hey, on some real shit, like I ain't gonna lie, like bro. Now look, Pete, I had to go back and like rewind. Like I went back to when I knew it, me and Cass was gonna like do the whole Too Cool shit with Rikishi. I went back and I ain't want to fuck this up. I'm like, man, hold on. That was like the first legend that I was like really dealing with in the business. And shout out to Cass because he had set that whole shit up. But that was like the first time I was gonna deal with like a legitimate legend in the business, and I ain't want to just go out there and look stupid or like everybody know the Too Cool dance. So I was like, fuck it. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right. I'm gonna bust out the worm. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna just go ahead. And I did. I bust the worm out and all that. And
So did Rikishi cool. Get mad because you were taking Scotty's worm out on?
Nah, Rikishi was cool as hell. Like he didn't even care about none of that shit. He was just like, go ahead. Just don't fuck it up. Yeah, I'm like, but like, why would I fuck the worm up? Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not about to fuck the worm up. That's part of the culture. Like, who the fuck? I ain't about to fuck no worm up like that. But it was mad fun, bro. Like I had.
Hey, let's address the elephant in the room, man. Because I know there's people watching who looking right now, like, damn, Jon'tae.
Is an elephant in here? Hold on, wait, what?
Don't they fucking hate each other? Like, damn, like we had heat at one point or something, man. Explain to the people what went on.
Hey, look, he ain't like me for a few minutes. You know what I'm saying? Don't like, fuck that. I don't give a fuck about what you
That's
doing.
your response. I didn't like you for a few minutes.
He was like, I don't fuck with bro. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got shit to do.
Tell the truth and shame the devil. You a liar and you don't love Jesus.
He was like, I ain't fuck with nothing Jon'tae about. I wish him the best though, but that's about it.
That's what happened.
So what happened? What happened?
What, me or Tony? You want to answer? Like, oh, it's on me?
Yeah, so you did.
Oh well, shit. I was just like, all right. So look, well, we was all. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody know that we was all in the group. You know,
a lot of you know what? It fucked my head up, and a lot of people don't know that and don't remember that shit though.
Oh, they don't. I'll say for the folks that don't know, like, yeah, me, Tony, and Cass, we was all in the stable for a good, what was it, 2 years, 3? Almost 3 years. No, almost 2 years. Almost 2 years. And you know, shit just went left, bro. Like it was a beef it was an ongoing beef that was within the group, you know what I'm saying? And it just got out of hand between my boy Cass and Tony. You know what I'm saying? They had their little issues going on at first. And I really didn't want to be part of it, but I'm already a part of it. Like both of my brothers are going at it. So I gotta figure something out.
Immediately stuck in the middle.
I was right. I'm immediately stuck in the middle just off that alone. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, it was all bad for a while. Like Tony, if you wanna ask some shit, go ahead, bro. Cause
I mean, I'm not here to bury nobody, man. I'm not here to start.
Wait. I'm not here to bury nobody, but I'm gonna bury the fuck out of somebody.
That's how you know
3, 2, 1.
Hey man, he's got his shovel out and he's getting ready to dig. You talk about something else that's all bad. Tony told me that somehow you ended up in a match with Ming and the Barbarian. That sounds all bad. Like that just sounds like an ass whooping waiting to happen. So can you let us know a little bit about that?
I ain't take the heat, so I was straight. I was cool. So you gotta talk to Cass. Cass the one he took all the heat. You feel me? And it was cool. So he gonna have to answer that ass whooping, not me. But no, all jokes aside, it was cool. And they just like everybody else, bro. Like all the stories that you hear about Ming and the Barbarian, you know what I'm saying? That's just because somebody probably pissed them off. Just like if somebody pissed one of y'all off, you gonna fucking around and like, yo, what's good, you know? Same thing with them. Like, just don't fuck with them. That's about it.
So how does that situation come about for you? And was it in a tag team match, or what? You know, it was a 2-on-2, or was there more than just two teams, or what was the deal?
And Tony, you was on that show too, weren't you? You was there?
I was there. I forgot what I did there, but I was there.
Yeah, he was there. But yeah, but it was a tag match. It was me and my boy, and we went against them. We had it was we main event that show, I believe. I don't know.
So tell me how a match like that goes. You're in there with two veterans like Ming and the Barbarian. I mean, is it follow my lead, or did you guys, or you know, are they letting you guys, you know, work too, or they just come out there trying to whoop your ass?
Nah, it wasn't like that. As soon as we started talking, like getting to know each other and stuff like that, it was automatic respect, obviously on our end. But they let us they was like, look, this is y'all thing. Like, we get what y'all doing and whatever. But like, just go out there and whatever ideas y'all got, throw it at us. Like, they real easy to work with. You know what I mean? Like, they just want the match to go right. And before we even started talking, like, we got to know who they were, and they got to know who we were. You know what I mean? They was the one that was filling us out, because obviously we're younger, so they're trusting us to take care of them. You know what I mean? So we got to go out there and be like, okay, y'all safe with us. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we'll go in there thinking like, yeah, they about to beat our ass, but at the same time, like, we still got to make sure that they had a whole show to do, like the night before. So it's still on us to make sure that they get to that show. Anything could have went wrong. You know what I mean? Like,
look, speaking of elephants and heat, man, I remember a couple years ago, I saw this video around. Yeah, no, a couple years ago, I saw this video floating around, and you trashing fans is what people were saying. You was trashing the fans. What was that all about, man? You trashing fans here?
I had a fucking concussion, bro. Like, all right, let me tell y'all, dog. See, look, because apparently there's a lot of elephants in the room, and a lot of shit I ain't really addressed. So let me address that. All right, so the match I had was 2 years ago in South Bend, Indiana. I'm like, we was supposed to work something out, but at first I was like banned from even coming to that bitch again. They're like, we don't want to see this motherfucker no more. You out here doing too much. You cussing fans out. You got it. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. So, I was wrestling in the main event of that particular show, and during the match, I ended up doing something. I went up top and I had crashed into the table, and like after that, I don't remember shit else except getting on the mic because I had a fucking concussion. And like, I do remember because they said the fans was chanting boring during my match and some shit like that, and I was like, all right, you know, it's wrestling, whatever. But it wasn't fans that I was really going off on. It was the people that was fucking like weren't part of the show.
It was some niggas there that was wrestlers. That was in the stand.
That's what I was saying. It was motherfuckers that weren't part of the show. You know what I'm saying? That was wrestlers that was just like hating or whatever the fuck they wanted to do, and they was the ones chanting more. So I was really like talking to them when I really like found out like what the fuck who really did it and whatnot. And
do you think that you were at fault in any way? If you would go back, would you change anything or?
Shit, I mean, no, because it was.
Oh hell no!
Now listen,
I just gave you a chance to redeem yourself, nigga.
Now listen, no, because look, peep this out.
If I could take it back, I would. I wouldn't have did it. You know, I felt like it was the wrong place, wrong time. I should have did it on Facebook.
I ain't about to lie, because everything I felt that moment was true. Like, fuck y'all. Like, I put a lot of shit. I'm like fucking Erykah Badu. She said I'm an artist, bro. I take this shit.
And I'm sensitive about my shit.
I'm sensitive about my. Don't chat boring on my motherfucking man. I smack the shit out your dumb ass. Like, what is wrong with you? But no, like.
Wait. So you crashed into the table and you cut a promo?
That's
well, no. After he crashed into the table, he finished the match. After the match, the guy was celebrating and shit. He just grabbed the mic and started going off like, fuck y'all motherfuckers calling this shit boring. Get in here and do what the fuck I do then. He was mad.
I was mad as hell.
All right, so that brings into a good question that we haven't gotten to ask in quite a while, Devin. So you're talking about other guys from the locker room who are commenting.
Oh,
hold on a minute.
Go ahead, Kyle.
I got it covered. So you're talking about other guys that are in the locker room that are kind of down in a match. So we've got a segment that's kind of fallen by the wayside while we've been here in quarantine. We like to call it locker room etiquette. So,
Locker room etiquette. We should have a little segment for it, like little music and little words that come at the bottom of the screen, like locker room etiquette. And then, hey,
locker room etiquette, man.
Hey, and right before that, there's a little word. There's like a little phrase above it that says, "You motherfucker need to learn."
We got to let them know some of the ones we've heard first. So we've heard, that one that you just mentioned. So far we've had Josh Briggs say that people need to bring their own wrist tape, bring their own squirt bottle. We've heard
wash your ass and your
gong.
Yep. We've heard from the Human Tornado, keep your baby mama out the locker room.
One of my favorites. Keep your kids out the locker room, somebody said.
And then all the other obvious ones. So for you, is that your biggest pet peeve, that if you're one of the boys in the locker room that you shouldn't be trashing another guy's match, or do you have one more in particular?
No, if you in the locker room, you shouldn't be trashing. You really shouldn't be trashing nobody's match anyway. Because
hold on. If you in the locker room, technically you shouldn't be out there during my fucking match. I mean, I'm just saying. I know some companies do it different ways. I know some guys get monitors in the back, but from what I was told coming up in this business, it's disrespectful to be out there walking. I mean, if you out there in the crowd and you got your hood on and you low key and you watching the match, yeah, that's cool. But to be walking around and make it known that you're there during the match, it takes away from the match in a lot of fans' ways. But I just want to put
that's that ego shit though. You feel me? Like that's just ego when you walking around. Like a lot of folks walk around have good matches all the time, and when they feel like because they kill it at every show, they got superstar status now. You feel me? And it's just like, how, bro? Like, we all still in the same fucking place. You feel me? Like, ain't nobody above nobody. Like, and then too, like, if you talk to like a lot of the older guys and shit like that, that's like been to the FEUD or whatever, like, you can, like, even half of their attitude's not even like that. You feel me? Like, they just be chilling, walking around like, you think the Undertaker walk around like the Undertaker all the time, bro? Like, relax. You know what I'm saying? Like,
if I was him, I would.
I mean, he earned it. He earned it. And even now, he still don't do it.
I'm keeping kayfabe alive. I'm scaring the fuck out of kids. I'm walking around.
You can't be like, bro, you can't be like 3 matches in and all of a sudden, yeah, you got good matches. All of a sudden, you Undertaker status now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't work like that. You gotta have etiquette. And then it's like, so what, motherfuckers can't do certain shit that other folks can do? Like, it's so many different ways you can get over, bro. So many different ways. You know what I'm saying? So you can't put down nobody because he like mad athletic don't mean like he can't do something different to get over it. Like he may be like smart as hell. You know what I'm saying?
No, we talk about like how niggas be breaking locker room etiquette and like don't be respecting the laws of the business as far as locker room status goes.
Because, like, they not enforced no more though. You feel me? Like it's not even like.
That's true too. It is enforced depending on where you go. That's the biggest thing. It depends on where you go. Because like in some places you can be in one of the most professional environments and they like, oh no, we don't do that handshake here. You know what I mean? It is what it is. And then you go somewhere else that's not as big a status as that company, and they're like, oh, if you don't shake my hand with the soft touch, then you're disrespectful. So I think it depends on where you go. I mean, I understand that the handshake and all that shit, and I still use it to guys who use it. But I don't go into companies like, hey, what up, doc? Smacking hands and shit. I'm gonna go in with the handshake to see what's up.
And speaking of etiquette and another elephant in the room, like Tony, you already hip. Like, I ain't got the best reputation in Michigan.
Why not?
You feel me? I don't know.
Speak on it.
These men.
Let me ask you a question.
You know what? That actually leads into a question I was going to ask you, man. It's like most of the time when I've seen some of your stuff, most of the time it's in Ohio, man. Like, why Ohio and not Michigan? Man?
Oh shit! Here it comes.
Why? Oh, mostly Ohio. Yeah, because Michigan don't fuck with me.
Why don't fuck with you, man?
Yo, I don't know. You feel me? I don't know why Michigan don't fuck with me. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't never. Yo, I never did. Let me tell you something. I never did shit to anybody. Now, like ever. I never did shit to nobody in Michigan. But some of the stuff that I hadn't heard about me is like straight up retarded, bro. Cause I'm like, they say I hadn't heard that I ain't got respect for the business. I'm like, how? Bro, I'm watching wrestling now. Like, I've studied this shit like faithfully. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't got respect for this business. And
I heard that. I didn't have respect for the business too because kids throw this up. Now, a lot of people don't know I'm from 6 Mile Brightmore. You know what I mean? This means something else to me other than the rap back. But this is the pack to me.
right.
And people thought kids throwing that up and was like, oh, they're disrespecting the business because they got kids throwing this up. But at the same time, those motherfuckers booking Joey Ryan. So what the fuck?
And all the other and other pedophiles that just got outed. You feel me? Like they do shit like that all the time.
Damn.
You know what I mean? Like, but I'm disrespecting this business, and they fucking around with 14-year-olds, 12, 13. Like, it's just the numbers get lower and lower.
I see y'all later. Thanks for coming to the show. I appreciate y'all. It's been a good run.
Yo.
Hey, but I mean, that brings up a good point. You said you're watching wrestling as you're sitting in the house, man. Obviously, we're all here in quarantine. We're not in the studio right now doing the show.
Right.
So, what kind of stuff have you been catching up on or watching? Are you just watching the recent stuff, or are you going back and watching some stuff to do a little bit of studying while we're all in here in quarantine? But before you answer that, since we're all sitting here in the house, you need to go get you a house. You gotta go get you a house and check out the homies from Stransky and Company Realty. Stransky and Company is a top producing real estate team that specializes in individual strategy, over-the-top service, and continued success for their clients. They're the real estate easy button. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest, hit them up at 248-563-9449 or it's admin at stranskyandcompany.com via email or stranskyandcompany.com. All the links to their website can be found at our website, ko3cpod.com. You got all their social media, all of our social media.
I want a Stransky and Company shirt.
You want a Stransky and Company shirt? Well, Matt Stransky can probably make that
Shout
happen.
out to how, like, the fact that you're not out of breath. Like, so,
hey.
I'm blowing
he
up,
practices
dog.
that shit in the mirror. Like, he know that shit by heart now. He practices in the mirror.
To be fair, I had the email up here, but also shout out to Ken Cash. Ken Cash in the comments shouting it out, talking about them transitions.
Okay, so look,
Conrad, I'm coming, bro. I'm taking that transition title.
Look, I got a story, bro.
Do you know Ken Cash, Jon'tae?
I definitely know Ken Cash. That's why I'm telling this story. Matter of fact, Ken Cash, I know you watching, bro. So look, a lot of folks don't know when I first started, like Ken Cash was like one of the first people to take me to the side and like actually like show me some shit, like things that make sense in matches. You know what I'm saying? Like he like a undercover person that was just like, yeah, I'm about to discover Jon'tae on the low. Like that's what he did for me. Like the reason why like I even still wrestle and like why I know some of the stuff I know is because like the little knowledge that he gave me. So shout out to you, Ken. Like real shit. I was young as hell.
A lot of people don't know like what a lot of these cats in Michigan mean to us, because I'm speaking of me personally. Coming up, BCWA was probably like the first indie promotion I really knew about outside of WWE. I mean, I knew about TNA. I saw the Canadian Destroyer. I saw that kind of stuff. I knew about New Japan and All Japan. But as far as like indie, like not on TV, none of that stuff, the first promotion I knew about was BCWA. So a lot of those guys were some of my favorite wrestlers. You know what I mean? Coming into the business, your Maserati Ricks, your Ken Cashes, your Parker brothers, your Tony Bankses, your Bill Martells.
Real shit.
You know what I mean? Expand on that a little bit about coming up in the Michigan scene and seeing how these guys come and develop. Like, you know, Jarek 120, seeing Owen Travers and Future Stars of Wrestling, Justin May, you know, how far those guys have come.
Yeah, for sure. Like Chase Burnett.
Oh, absolutely.
All up in the context.
Chase Burnett, this is his favorite MMA and pro wrestling podcast. Like Chase Burnett is a GOAT. Like
he don't even know. I tell him
he don't know he's a GOAT.
Like he pissed me off sometimes because I talked to Chase as he a GOAT. He don't even know. I'm like, bro, like you don't know who the fuck you. Like he went viral before. You know what I'm saying?
He went viral on E-Bomb's World before. This is like if you was on E-Bomb's World, you did some shit. Like, what the fuck?
You know what I'm saying? Like,
look.
That's why
I've got to know Chase over the last 2 years, man. He's humble, but he's not at the same time. He knows he's good. He knows he is. But I don't think he knows how good he really is. He does really.
He don't realize that he fucked up a lot of kids, and I'm one of those kids. Like I remember, like for real, I'm one of those kids, bro. Like all the bumps.
I just want to say this: if you guys haven't seen any of the Sean Silver and Chase Burnett matches, Zane Silver and Chase Burnett put on fucking works of art, man. And you know, like I said, first coming into the business, being able to ref those matches and like what the fuck just happened? You know, if you haven't seen those two work together, go and watch any Zane Silver versus Chase Burnett match. Just do yourself that favor while you're in quarantine.
Wait, you know what? Jon'tae, I'm gonna let you finish your story, but Kyle, tell the story about the first time we had them on the show. What happened afterwards when we were talking, man?
That wasn't the first time, was it?
Yeah, the first time we had them on the show, like the next day, once we saw what we saw, let the people in, man.
Are we talking about the bathroom story?
No, whoa. All right, I guess I gotta tell the story.
Y'all want me to come back? Like, y'all want to do this another time?
No, not at all. No.
Devin caught him a few full moons. All right.
Hey, listen, you know what I'm saying?
Devin caught him a full few moons.
I'll tell the story. So Tony was like, "Hey man, I want to bring my guys Chase and Zane Silver on the show," and we didn't know who these guys were, right?
Yeah.
So we bring them on. Great show, man. Great show. So like the next day, Kyle calls me. He's like, "Dude, have you seen the numbers of what that show did?" I'm like, "Nah, I haven't." Like that has probably been one of our most popular shows, man. Like from like just the next day, the numbers were off the chart. It was like, who the fuck are these guys, man? Like we didn't know.
Like those are like underground, you know what I'm saying? Underground legends. You feel me?
Underground kings.
That's what I feel like, you know, Tony, that if we keep grinding the way we keep grinding, like we're gonna be like that too though, like underground kings. Like folks are gonna look at us and be like, oh shit, I remember Jon'tae he's a wrestler over here, such and such. I remember Tony, you know what I'm saying? Like those two got like OG status.
Shout out to all the underground kings, man. It's a lot of them, man. It really is. There's a lot of guys that don't get the credit that they deserve for being legends on the independent level. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it's about. It's about giving back too in the indies. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to pass the knowledge on for sure.
Well, first of all, shout out to Chase and Zane. They've been big supporters of the show ever since we brought them on the first time, and they contributed to letting Devin see the full moon. But with that being said, let's get to. I got something to piggyback a little bit off of what Jon'tae was just talking about. So last year, no bell for you to ring, Devin. I was in New York.
Motherfucker, ding.
So when we were in New York, man, I was at WrestleMania Access. I actually did an interview for Al Jazeera of all things, and I did the interview. And right after we got done with it, I went to go do one of the signings, and Drew Gulak was one of those people. And we got to talking about Chase and Zane Silver and their stuff. And right away, he knew exactly who I was talking about. So if that lets you know, I mean, Drew Gulak's a guy you're seeing on SmackDown, Raw, 205 Live. You know, he's doing his thing up there with Daniel Bryan. You know, and these guys are guys that when we're meeting them out there in New York and breaking bread with them, you know, they know who we're talking about. So Chase and them have definitely gotten their name out there for sure. For those of you who don't know. Before I get to my next question, though, shout out to Chris James and a few other people in the comments, man. You guys be watching us every week, and you're over here starting a damn riot in the comments, man.
Shout out to Chris. I went to school with bro. We went to Bradford together.
Hey, see, there's connections all over the place.
You'd be surprised. Oh man, this is a small industry, and the internet makes it even smaller.
You ain't lying. So here's my question for you. So, you know, and Tony, you can chime in on this as well. You know, as everybody's being affected over here by coronavirus and all that good stuff along with it.
It is real.
It really is real. And I'm kind of scared to go back to the post office because of it, but that's for another podcast. But anyway, with us all being in quarantine and things like that, obviously this took a big hit on the indie scene. What are your guys' thoughts on how the indie scene will rebound as we're starting to hear more and more things are starting to reopen? You know, what do you think that this is going to do to the indie scene as a whole?
Well, I mean, as far as Indiana go, I just want to put out there that Indiana is starting to slowly open up their state again. They're allowing crowds.
May 28th.
Yeah, they're allowing crowds up to 100 people. So that means that most of the promotions in Indiana can work right now because most of them don't get more than 100 people. So shout out to Indiana for Shout out to Indiana for opening their
And
shit.
Devin has left the building.
What the fuck was that?
I had to grab me a drink. Man. Hold up, my bad.
Hey, hold on a minute. It's Cinco de Mayo, and none of us have taken a shot, a drink, nothing on this thing.
Damn,
Wait, you know what? I got some tequila. Hold up, man. I'm glad you said that, brother. Hold on.
Tony, I'm gonna let you finish your thought. I'm gonna go grab me a drink of some sort real quick, and we gotta have some kind of Cinco de Mayo drink on here. So you finish your thought on how it's gonna affect the Indies.
Jon'tae, go ahead.
What was you done or you want me to?
Go ahead, man. I was just making a joke that y'all like nobody gives a fuck about anyway. So
I got it, man. I laugh.
No, I got it. I got the joke.
I was with you.
I mean, I don't know how the Indies is gonna bounce back because it depends on like what type of indie you in. You know, it's so many different types of indies. You got the real underground with the independents, and then you got the regular. Well, I feel like the super indies and shit. So hopefully the guys that's like really in the gutters of the indies got their money right and whatnot. Shit, I hope everybody got their money right, but I don't know. Because right now in Michigan, like, I don't know when things are gonna be opening up again. They talking about the 15th, but even then, like, I don't feel like folks are gonna be ready. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, let me ask you this, man. Why don't you throw out some of the independent or some of the companies you work for, and then I want to talk to you about one in particular after you name some of the companies you work for.
Speaking of Cinco de Mayo, shout out to all the people who knows about it.
I'm dead. I'm weak.
I come back with the goods.
I ain't got no drink, man. It's fucked up. So I'm gonna just say happy Cinco
I
de
ain't
Mayo.
got no drink, but I say rain with the monster.
All right. Everybody's got to talk about what we're sipping on real quick before we do this. Dev, what you got over there?
Man, I got that Don Julio Raspacito right here. Mm-hmm. That tequila.
So, first of all, shout out to the homie Jake, who's a listener of the show. I've got the leftover Jack Daniels Tennessee honey that I had left in the fridge just because that's what I got in here. We had shots of this after my pops passed. So, happy Cinco de Mayo.
See, I feel like now, like, this is the part where we all bless the bottle. You feel me?
Well, if I could put the bottle through the screen, we could do all that. But
do it like a don't rush challenge. Do it like
just know that I'll take an extra shot just for you, Dev.
Exactly.
What you got? What you got, Tony?
I got a Mota.
Okay.
Tony, though.
All right.
You got it pulled up. You got it pulled up.
Oh no,
I'm going right out the bottle.
Hey, I feel mad left out. I would have just sparked up with y'all if that's the case.
Boom, that's what I'm talking about.
I would have just.
That's what Mota is.
That was like,
Mota is weird.
420 was like 2 weeks ago.
I was about to say that holiday already passed, bro.
Look, next show, the next time, like we do this, like I'll do that. You said what, Tony?
You don't disrespecting 420 and weed smokers.
What? How did I do that by saying the holiday already passed?
Listen,
the holidays every day.
Go ahead and explain it. Yeah, I was about to say the holidays every day.
All right. So for those of us that are celebrating with the alcohol, Dev, Tony, virtual cheers, brother, man. I'm going to take me a shot of this Tennessee honey whiskey real quick.
That was my cheers. I blew it out.
This is my cheers to y'all.
There you go. Hey.
Hey, anybody that's in the comments, if you guys are watching and you guys are celebrating Cinco de Mayo, let us know what you're drinking on.
Hey, yo, if you in the comment section, I don't see that shit because I'm on Zoom.
I definitely don't see that shit either because I'm on Zoom.
Hey,
so I don't know what people saying. They're going to be like, what the
Well,
fuck?
we've gotten a lot of comments from Ken Cash about you, kind sir. We've had Chase Burnett chiming in. You got Chris over here chiming in. You got you some fans watching this show. We had
oh shit, man. Shit,
hey, but
I got fans.
No, you should have told his ego that.
Damn, I got fans out here. So if that's the case, let me turn Jon'tae on right quick.
So
everybody say no.
Go ahead.
Chase Burnett cheers with us too. That means you got to take another shot, Devin.
Facts.
Cheers.
Devin don't to take a shot.
Wait, what?
Devin, I said you don't need a reason to take a shot.
He doesn't. That's facts.
It's a day that ends with Y, man. Of course. But,
for those of you who haven't been watching the show for a while, we like to call it podcast juice for Devin.
It's podcast juice.
This
Hey,
is just
trademark that shit and put it on a shirt.
this is just talking. Like I feel at the crib. You know what I'm saying?
That's what it's
Hey,
all
but-
about.
but-
Yeah, I
hey,
feel like
hey,
I'm
Jon'tae.
vibing. I'm vibing right
Hey, but
now.
John, I was asking you to name some of the companies that you do work for, man, and I want to ask you about one in particular, man.
All right. So Chase just let us know what he's drinking on. So I've got some Tennessee whiskey over here. Dev, you've got Don Julio. Tony, are you drinking on anything?
I could have sworn Devin just asked him a question, Kyle. You rude as hell.
I didn't hear him asking that. Excuse
That's
me.
why. That's why I was just like, hell yeah.
At least one of us is watching the live feed.
We'll try this again. Hey, Jon'tae, man, why don't you name some of the companies that you work for, and once you go through that, I'm gonna ask you about one in particular.
I was at shut the fuck up, Tony. I was at MLW in Toledo for a minute. Like everything I was really doing was like just almost everywhere. Like I was in Toledo with MLW. That was like my home company for a while. Shout out to Rob. It's not going on anymore. Then I was also wrestling for this company called Chaos, where I would wrestle Jordan Oliver at and whatnot. But everywhere else, like I was just wrestling like wherever somebody would like book me at. It wasn't like a specific company or whatnot. Like it'll be either over the East Coast or whatever.
But you mentioned Toledo, man. Is Toledo like almost like a home base for you right now?
I ain't gonna lie, like Toledo is like they show me more love than the fucking city. You know what I mean? And that's just how things work. Like I said. Like,
how did you get started at NOW? Let's throw that heat out there. This is the show of heat. Like we go put all the heat out there. How did you start with NOW?
Shit, hey Tony, I didn't get to my question. You're so rude, sir.
Oh man, oh shit. Answer the
I love
question,
how he
Jon'tae.
just called me out and then cut him off 2 seconds later.
Because that was a sub question. His sub question was he wanted to ask about one of the promotions. So I just wanted to ask about one because when me and Jon'tae
Yeah, and mine was trying to interact with our fans, sir.
Fuck you, Kyle. When Jon'tae first started about coming on the show, we wanted to clear everything that could have been misconstrued about his career. So
all right, so we've got a question for Jon'tae from the comments. So I'm being told by Chase Burnett to talk to you about Jamaica tea or Jamaica tea. My bad, I misread it.
Oh, Jamaica. Oh yeah, I had wrestled out there for a minute, and bro, like I was so damn cooked out in Jamaica.
Shout out to Robbie Smalls.
Huh?
Shout out to Robert Smalls.
Oh yeah, but yeah, I was so damn fried in Jamaica, dog. I don't even remember the fucking show.
Please tell me you didn't go full Bob Marley for that show.
Yo, I met somebody that was cool with Bob Marley.
I met somebody that was cool with Bob Marley.
Listen,
I went to Detroit and I met somebody who knew Eminem.
I knew a guy who knew a guy that knew Bob Marley, though.
Listen, y'all gotta understand. Like, that was my first time out the country. Like, I'm like Tony. I'm like, we from the city. Like, we don't be thinking that when we go to these places, we just be going out there because, like, bro, we never thought we would even like go no places like this. You know,
wrestling will help you see the world. Shout out to wrestling.
Right, like we just out there seeing the world. Like other folks be looking at us like, getting the ego behind it. Like, bro, I went to Jamaica and wrestled in Jamaica. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just some shit that you can be like, wait, what? Like, if you say something like that to a random person, they be like, yeah, I went to Jamaica to wrestle. They be like, wait, what? Like, everything about that sentence just seemed weird as hell. You went to Jamaica to do what?
Hey, I got a question, man. If your name is Jon'tae Keith, what does that R mean on your chain?
See, now we breaking like the fourth wall.
Hey, right. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep the fourth wall up since I'm not trying to do like Tony and break everything over here.
So look, all right. Hey, listen, bro. Because if we're gonna talk about gimmicks, all right, we're gonna talk about the bear gimmick you had.
Oh,
what's that shit? What's that shit you used to do at XSU with the crisscross jump? That one. That was the Kid Thunder gimmick.
That's why he brings up Justin Timberlake all the time. Wait a minute. That's why
everybody shut the fuck up. Tell us more.
Give us the cliff notes though, because we're getting to the end.
Like we all got humble beginnings. Remember my young Reezy days? Remember my young
Hey, Chris just brought that up in the comments. Chris just brought that up in the comments right when you said it.
Wait, you
That was
Riley Freeman?
mean Reezy?
I didn't know you was talking to Riley Freeman. Shit, that's what's up, man. I'm a big fan of your show, man.
Hey, Jon'tae,
before
before we
Reezy back in the days, but my real name, look, man, fuck y'all. My
Don't
real
do
name,
it. Don't do it.
Hey, I
If
just
y'all
want to
ain't
point
here,
out.
y'all ain't here.
I just want to point out. I can see your real name at the bottom of your screen there on the Zoom.
Oh.
I don't know if anybody else can see it. I don't know if
Hey,
you can
listen,
see it.
at this point, a lot of folks already know my real name. It don't matter. It is what it is, bro. I can't be Jon'tae all the time. See, that's the difference. See, Tony, you gonna know where I'm going with this one. It's the difference between being Robert and Jon'tae. You feel me? You gotta know the difference between the two.
Shout outs to Robert. Hey, but look, that was some real shit. We didn't even get into the gear and shit though. But we got some more shit to talk about, man.
Hey, we've got plenty more to talk about, man. You're going to have to come back and check us out. But before we let you get out of here, man, you know, with us coming out of quarantine, and as Tony mentioned, you know, they're opening up things state by state a little more and a little more. For you, what are some of the goals for you, whether it be on the indies or, you know, as a whole? Do you have any goals that you want to come after once we come back for wrestling?
And to follow up with that last question, I just want to add a little bit more to that. I'm seeing that the Spirit of Detroit has kind of been slowing down. Is there any other groups we could see you in the future?
What group you want to see me in, Tony?
He's hoping you're going to be a part of Rat Pack.
What you want me to be part of the Rat Pack or something?
Who said that? You trying to be a part of the Rat Pack?
I mean, I know you got a group going on, so shit. You know what I'm saying? I remember. All right, look. Fun fact. Let's go ahead. We're breaking all the fourth walls today, huh? So, I remember. What was it? 2 years ago. You know, I was already approached by one of y'all, like to, you know what I'm saying, do something with the Rat Pack and whatnot. You know what I mean? And I ain't got no ill feelings towards y'all, but I don't do groups like that, obviously.
I feel you.
Like I fucks with you, but I don't do groups. You know, like Tony, you know how I operate.
I know how it is. You know.
But
what about the other part of the question? What are some things you got going on come the rest of 2020 when we get out of this?
People look forward to?
Shit, man. Honestly, I just want to just learn more. Like at this point, I'm more focused on being a better performer than anything. You know what I mean? I want to reach status where, you know, not too many people in the indies want to reach. You know what I'm saying? They want to go in there and they just want to be like the best for the night. Like I want to be like the best in the world. You feel me? So I'm on a whole different mission. Like the way I view wrestling is like way different. And I just want to like create. You know what I mean? Like you ever just want to just create and just.
I totally can relate, man, because
where this gets you. That's where I'm at.
In that same boat, dude, trying to grow. So I can totally relate with that, especially, you know, coming out here on the scene, trying to hit these big events like StarCast, stuff like that. I feel you.
Yeah, definitely. You know what I mean? And the way I see wrestling now is so different because I see my childhood like literally like just withering away from me, dog. Like I look at wrestling like that, and every time I go in there and wrestle, it's like I'm like I told you earlier, like I'm 11 years old again. And what's going on now, I don't really like feel like that no more. Like wrestling didn't really like make me feel like I was 11. So I want to see if I can like, you know, bring. You know what I'm saying? Try to bring that.
Would you say that kind of lit your fire again? Like your fire's been lit?
You know what I'm saying? It never went anywhere. It's just to the point like when you so creative, bro, and you just see things different. I mean, you know, like something can be great, but you just don't know how to like get there. That's what like what fucks with you, and that's where I'm at with it. Cause I know it's way more than just wrestling to me, bro. You know what I mean? Like it's deeper than that on why I even wrestle anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I know with that mindset, it's more that I can like make out of this. You know what I mean? Like wrestling for me is just more like I don't want to say a stepping stone.
A platform.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a platform for me to go like somewhere else because I feel like my life is like going in a whole different direction. But like wrestling is like guiding me there in a way. You know what I mean?
Totally can respect that. Well, we're getting to the end of our time, man. Throw out your social media again. Let everybody know where they can find you. And if there's anywhere here in the Detroit area where they can catch you.
Yeah. All right, if y'all wanna, if somebody will book me in the fucking in my city, then yeah, y'all, you know what I mean. But like I said, on Instagram, Busted Flip, on Twitter, Tay Keith, and on Facebook, Jon'tae Keith. Jon'tae Keith on Facebook is where y'all. Oh shit, I ain't want to like bring all that out, but yeah,
Hulk Hogan.
Yeah,
we coming.
That's where y'all want to like follow me at even more, because that's where everything be happening. Like I post like the dumbest shit, like memes, my videos. It's just all love. Like Tony, you be on my page, you know how she goes.
Yeah, for sure.
Make sure you're following this dude on all his social media. Tony, since we're looking at your ugly mug right now, let them know where they can find you too.
Oh,
yo, man, you can find me on social medias at Go Fuck Kyle. I'm Tony Thunder.
Dev, throw out your social media real quick, and we got to get the one more celebratory Cinco de Mayo shout out the way, and I'll throw mine out. And make sure you're checking us out next week. We've got a potential huge guest for you guys.
Wait, real quick, Tony.
Yeah.
Didn't Jon'tae win the award for best social media before?
He might have. Oh, Tony Thunder award. Yeah, he probably did win a Tony Thunder Facebook award. I wouldn't know.
When he did. I want to say it was like 2018, man.
Award?
I won last year.
He won one. Devin won one. I think you got one.
I won 2019, but I'm pretty sure Jon'tae won one. But with that being said, follow me on Twitter at Devin63. That's DEVINTHE63. Follow me on Instagram at All State No Sizzle, one word. Make sure you check out the Reality Era News group on Facebook, and follow me at Devin McKenzie on Facebook too.
Hey, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Detroit Knockout. If you're on Facebook, make sure you check me out, Kyle Collison on Facebook. Make sure you're following the show. If you're watching us live, you probably already are, but Knockouts and Three Counts podcast on Facebook. Make sure you're on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button down there in the right corner. Check us out, Knockouts and Three Counts, and on Twitter and Instagram at KO3C Pod. And without that being said, like he said, throw out them threes real quick. Dev, one more celebratory shot before we get out of here. That Don Julio, Jack Daniels, have a happy Cinco de Mayo, and fuck yo,
we out of here, yo. Hey, guess what? Your mama listening to Sweat.
Your mama listening to Sweat
on the Sweat Hotel.
Hopefully, I ain't like pissed too many like Michigan people off. I didn't really say much. You feel me? Like I said,
we're still live, dog.